Good morning. Today we are continuing with our discussion on generalist practice. We told you that a generalist practitioner was one who focused or provides services from a holistic perspective using a myriad of techniques and skills and providing services for the people that they serve. We said that a generalist practitioner obtained a degree from an accredited school of social work, of which they uh, use the skills and techniques from this program to provide the services for the clients that they serve. Now, if you look on chapter 3, you'll find that there are many definitions, if you will, as it relates to generalist practice. Barker has given us a definition. The baccalaureate program directors have given us a definition. Grafton Hull, who had the opportunity to meet at the Council on Social Work Education annual planning meeting, a very, very nice gentleman who has been working in the social service field for years, and you would note his definition. I would like for you to look at all of those definitions to make sure that you have a general understanding. But when we talk about generalist practitioner, we're looking at a skilled individual who has attended an accredited school of social work and are using the skills and techniques that they have garnered in order to provide services for their client. This generalist practitioner is responsible for helping us to work through the change process. The social worker uses what we call a change process, and we as social workers, we got to make sure that we remember that the client is the chief problem solver. The client is the change agent. What we do with the client, how we carry out the services, helps us to carry out the change process. The change process centers around providing services for the clients, changing, helping them meet the needs in their general environment. And some of those needs can be on an individual, a group, or community basis. And we'll discuss that as we go further into our discussion. Within the change process, we have accepted the 10 competencies, if you will, that the Council on Social Work has mandated that all schools of social work teach and provide instruction to the students who attend schools of social work. Those competencies are centered around 5 different areas: engagement, assessment, intervention, and evaluation. In engagement, we've talked about how we meet the client. That is your initial meeting of the client. Here, you are trying to establish a rapport with the client. You are trying to establish a genuine relationship where that client understands that you are really there to help them and that your concern is to help meet whatever needs that they're eligible for and you can provide. Through this initial assessment, through this initial meeting, you're using empathy and other interpersonal skills, whatever you need to do to help you to meet that client where they are so that they can feel comfortable in sharing their concerns with you. The next area is that of assessment. And in assessment, you'll find this is the place where you collect, you organize, and you interpret the data that you obtain from your clients. Here you are assessing the client's strengths and limitations. You're looking at services that your client may need. If this is the first time that they're receiving services, you're trying to engage what they think about the process, and you're also trying to develop a relationship with this client so that they can understand that you are there to help them and you are there to help meet their needs as best you can. This is also a time for you to look at various intervention strategies. The next stage, which is that of intervention, this is where you and the client, you all have settled on the type of strategies that you want to use as it relates to solving your client's problems, and you are looking at the problems that your clients have and you're helping them to capture them, if you will, in such a form that they're able to look at them. A lot of times when clients come to us, they have a lot of problems and they really don't know which problem they should look at. When they come to you and they're at this intervention stage, you're helping them to conceptualize where they are so they can help to resolve their problems. You're trying to help negotiate. You are using your various roles that we will talk about to help the client move toward uh, trying to resolve their issues. And then we get to the final portion that deals with evaluation. We told you that evaluation is very important because through the evaluation, you are engaging the client through the working relationship, and you're coming basically to the end of your time with them, and you're trying to make sure that all of the goals were achieved. You are assessing any issues that have occurred even throughout the process. You are still collecting and assessing information. You're using your supervisory skills to help ferret that client through the process, and then you are also trying to help your client see if they have achieved their goals and making any changes as it relates to providing services for your clients. And then through these competencies, you're going to include various roles. Various roles or skill sets will be used at this time. If you turn with me to page 70 to 72, you're going to find some of the roles. I don't expect for you to know all of them for test time, but I expect for you to, through time, to gain a knowledge of these roles, all of them, because at some point or another you're going to have to carry out these roles. The first role is that of an enabler. As an enabler, your responsibility is to help your clients or group to articulate their needs and to clarify and identify their problems so that they can explore any strategies to solving those problems. The next role is that of a broker. Here you are linking your client to and any groups that you may work with to uh, services in the community, and your responsibility at that time, is to make sure that you are aware of all of the community resources so that you will be able to refer your clients or your community, whoever you're working with, to these agencies. You are to serve as an advocate. This is a law term, and the advocate, your responsibility is to help articulate your needs, the client's needs, to the public. Many times as an advocate, you're going to find yourself speaking for your client. And a lot of times that occur in the courtroom. You may find yourself going and standing up for the client in the courtroom and speaking for the client. I've had an opportunity as a social worker to go and serve in the court and to assist my client with the judges, so you may have to serve in that capacity. The next role is that of an activist, a community activist. This is where you seek basic institutional change. Your responsibility is to go into the community and to assist your clients in trying to get their needs met, even if it's with the public health office or with their landlord or whoever in the community has a resource that your client needs. The next role is that of the mediator. This involves intervention in disputes where you want to help your client and the parties that are involved to come to some type of agreeable compromise so that there's a happy medium between that client and their situation. The negotiator comes in also. The negotiator will come in to assist with that mediator role. In the negotiator role, you are responsible for bringing those who are in conflict with each other so that they can look at the issues that are before them to help to achieve a mutually agreed upon agreement as to the situation. As an educator, you're responsible for imparting knowledge or giving information to your clients and teaching them adaptive skills. There are other types of roles, and we're not going to get into those, but as I said, you need to be familiar with those as you provide services for your client. And in providing services with your clients, you're going to find out as we look at the next section that your client, along with their families, will have many problems that they will bring to the table. Clients will come with problems with divorce, substance abuse, um, death, desertion, single parenthood, illness, disease, money management issues, elder abuse, child abuse, sexual assault, forced retirement. Some clients may come who have gambling issues. Some may come who have terminal or chronic illnesses. Some may even come as a result of losing their jobs and losing their sense of hope because they don't have these things that they're looking for. And some may come as a result of their loved one um, uh, committing adultery, and you may have to deal with those issues too. And we look at the concept of family therapy in our next section. It talks about family therapy and how Virginia Satir looks at family and states that families as a whole, sometimes you have to deal with the whole family as it relates to solving problems. And sometimes families send out mixed messages. She talks about incongruent statements when clients come and they provide one message but they really mean another. An incongruent statement is when one says one thing but really means another. Their actions, their verbal and their nonverbal cues are not congruent, or they do not match with each other. And so in this particular stance, Virginia Satir is telling us as social workers that we must be prepared to provide services for our client. Now, the next half of our class is going to consider with the PowerPoint that looks at other information as it relates to this chapter. I expect for you to review this video continuously, make notes, make sure you understand. Your test will come from information that relates from this video as well as from your PowerPoint. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.